quarterfinals time. Let's do it. MaxPax versus Solar. Oh, we're jumping right in. We're just going, dude. We are just going. All right, quarterfinal match. Let's go. Spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Curious Minds, we have our blue Zerg player representing Kitesy Gaming. It is Solar. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner for Psystorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. Should be a very good match between these two. MaxPax tends to be on the greedier side of things, which is a very possible thing to do in this matchup right now. But Solar, I think Solar is one of the players that can really punish a greedy player like MaxPax. It's tough though, man. MaxPax has gotten very, very strong against the kind of pushes that I feel like Solar could do. MaxPax blocking the base. I like that Solar takes this third. If you do want to do like a queen walk or something like that, some sort of push, spreading creep from here to your opponent's base is trivial. It's so close. Like, we don't talk about this map as a close rush distance because it's not. But this third, like, the edge of creep here is so much closer than the edge of creep here. So from natural to natural, it's not a huge rush distance, or not a small rush distance. But from third to natural, it's actually very small. It only takes, like, honestly, like 4 max range creep tumors, and you get very close, where you're really putting the pressure on with that creep. Yeah, I knew some oldie in the chat would get the Welcome Back Cotter reference. Listen, I'm a big John Travolta fan, all right? What do you want from me? Actually, I've never watched that show. I've just heard the song on the radio before. Nein sprechen Sie Deutsch. I don't even know how to say sorry in Deutsch. In German. I got like maybe 12 words in German. That's about all I can do. Maybe 15 if I'm lucky. If I'm really lucky, the airline will let me cancel my tickets, and or I'll make fat stacks of bills in the next month, and be able to go to Germany for Home Story Cup, which I have tickets to, but not, unfortunately, since they moved it, I don't have plane tickets anymore. So that's a big fingers crossed on that. We shall see. Only time will tell. Things looking relatively normal here. There's no big tells on either side for anything wonky. MaxPax did go Oracle first, but the Voidray to follow that up. Keep an eye on how many Voidrays. Grabs the third base. This is a kind of a bold third base to take. I actually feel like this third base could arguably be the better one in this situation, but it's tough. It's tough either way. There's not. I'm sure MaxPax has his reasons. I just feel like I feel like it's more likely this one gets broken by some sort of push. But again, he's very confident in his ability to hold those pushes. Ooh. Energy drink, giving me the burples. I do hope I get to go to Germany. I'd really, really love to meet a lot of the people in Europe that probably won't get to travel to something like Austin next year. which I'm also really hoping to be able to travel to Austin next year. That would be super heckin' sick. At that point, maybe I'll have enough, like, United miles to just get the free flight. I might even have enough now. Who knows? Who knows, man? But it's really sick. I have a lot of German ancestry. I've never been to Germany, so I'd love to just get to kind of experience that a little bit. Solar trying to find some damage with these links. He's been pretty consistently putting pressure on with the links. Haven't really been able to get too much done, though. I like the adept movement here from MaxPax. Trying not to overcommit to the defense. And Solar's taking a fourth base, which has just been scouted. I feel like that's probably why he canceled that cannon. He realized, oh, there's a fourth base. I don't need to worry too much. Prismatic Alignment gonna force his hatch to cancel. That's a nice little catch there. Not the biggest deal in the world, but definitely annoying. There's only 4 Void Rays out here right now, which is a really limited amount of voids. You might have to recall. Yeah, you might have to recall. MaxPax. Go hide in the corner, bud. You go hide in the corner. You have the Spire coming up, so Solar is going to try to go into big Roach Corruptor Queen from this, which I like a lot. But with more Void Rays coming out and Flux Veins on the way, it is always dangerous. Ooh, Solar. Solar actually is going to push across the map here. A little supply blocked at the moment. The pain of having to cancel this fourth again. I think Solar's pushing across because he's feeling a little desperate. Depths shade into the natural, and they don't even really need to be controlled. They're causing a lot of damage just by existing there. Solar's pushing across, but man, MaxPax he's got a good amount of defense here. I don't know if it's enough though. 7 Void Rays is all it is, and this comes back to the early Void Ray production that MaxPax just didn't really go for. There are 13 Queens out on the map. There are a bunch of Ravagers here to help against the pylons, the cannons, the shield batteries, and of course to force the Void Rays to move, which is probably the worst things one of the worst things the Void Rays could do. MaxPax is taking a fourth. If he can kind of sneak that fourth base and take a decent trade here while losing this third, he might be okay. Overcharge was used already, and that shield battery I think died. MaxPax, he is going to have to evacuate this base. He's going to go try to grab some counter damage instead. That might leave his base way too exposed here. The Link's hitting at the wall. I mean, they're just going to chew through shield battery energy, but this is the real danger for Solar, is he's going to lose his third base. He's got a few Queens here, but not enough to deal with 9 Voids. It's enough to die a little bit more slowly. A bit less fast. 11 Mutas on the way. I don't know if that's the answer. I'm actually really concerned for Solar here. I feel like this push was really sick, but the counterattack from MaxPax is such a strong move. He loses the third, but again, he's got this fourth base up. Not watching that Bile. Okay, the Queens get back in time to push the Voids away, which is good, because that gives time for the Mutas to get out, to group up, which is so important. Both players are supply blocked. Neither player is mining well at all. They're both mining actually abysmally right now. It's 2 bases to 2 bases. Solar's up a few workers, so the long distance mining is slightly better for him. But I say 2 base to 2 base. MaxPax will saturate that third now, and his mining should jump to probably even, if I had to guess, with Solar's based on the long distance mining, but more workers kind of situation we got going on here. But can Solar actually win a fight? There's Disruptors coming out, which are so good against Mutas. Super good. Really good against mutas. But the Voidray count is so high. Oh my god, there's Phoenixes out too. There's 3 Phoenixes. MaxPax must have either scouted or intuited the potential of the mutas and has prepared at least a little bit. But did I say Austin? Bob, 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 Bob. I did meet Atlanta, right? That's where DreamHack is. It's Atlanta. They both start with A. What can I say? Hopefully there will be somebody named Austin there. How about that?
Oh man, Chickenman. Wow.
Cobra. Thank you so much for the resub, Cobra. Welcome back to the Cock Flock. 26 months. That's a lot of months.
He's a man, but he's also
and 47 is gifting a sub to Matt in the Crown. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. That pumps us up to 200 subs. That's a feels good, man. Thank you guys. Good support today on our first stream back. You guys have been lovely. Been wonderful. Matt in the Crown, welcome to the Cock Flock. Whew. Those roachers absolutely melting to the 17 Void Rays. Honestly, what Solar really needs is like, yeah, some Infestors or some Vipers, but he doesn't have a Hive yet. So Infestors are going to be the name of the game, but I don't think they're going to be on time. There's no Spellcasters here. Oh my god, the Disruptor Novas. Honestly, they don't really connect that well. But the Corruptors and Mutas, I just don't think there's enough of them. The Queens getting lifted here, so they can't really help at all. They will fall down, but Solar is going to tab out as MaxPax takes game number 1 of this best of 3. But in the meantime, let's hop into game number 2 because things might get spicy. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner, up 1-0. It is Storm Gaming's MaxPax. He's looking very strong today. Taking down Creator now 1-0 against this man. Lower left-hand corner for Kitesy Gaming, Solar. I thought this was going to be a forge because the early probe, but I always forget that the early probe is just to block the hatchery. Remember when MaxPax used to be just a high-level-ish meme? I feel like I was early on the MaxPax train. I wish I had like a clip or something from back in the day. There was a time where I was like, MaxPax is he's gonna like change everything. Like he is going to be the next, at the start of 2020, people were like, all right, so we've got the young Zerg Raynor. We've got the young Terran Clem. Who's the young Protoss? And I remember being like MaxPax. And at the start of 2020, MaxPax was not super well known. Not super well known. People knew who he was, obviously, from like Beastie Cutie's video. But as far as playing in like weeklies and stuff, man, watching his play has just been it was so inspiring to see him doing something completely different from everybody else. And I know the MaxPax was kind of a meme, but his play has always felt in that same vein. He will figure out a way. He revolutionized PvP. He changed it. He changed PvP. He is the reason that one-gate low-ground metas exist. The reason that build exists is because of MaxPax. I am a firm believer in that. The only person I saw doing that, even around the time when I saw MaxPax start it, was Hearthstone. And Hearthstone would only do it on maps with a ramp from the natural down. Nobody else that I saw did it pretty much ever. And now every map with a ramp like that, we see players do it. It's like a conscious decision to not do it at this point. And MaxPax still does the low ground one gate on pretty much every map in PvP. He shifted the meta of that matchup in a big way, I think. The initial MaxPax was super interesting as well. Super annoying to deal with for Reaper expands. But again, it changed the matchup. You couldn't do the same openings in TVP anymore. There was a whole period of time where you had to open a specific way. You can do Reaper expands again now, but there's still always that threat. We still see MaxPaxes come out every now and then. And he was on the forefront of the initial Voidray build. When Voidrays got changed, obviously everybody was going for Voidrays, right? But I think MaxPax is one of the people who helped iron out what the Voidray build was. Because he has this innate sense of how greedy he can be while putting pressure on. And the Voidray builds are perfect for that, right? You put pressure on with Oracles, with Voidrays, with Adepts or whatever, and you just defend with like one unit. It's such a greedy style. It's by necessity, it needs to be greedy because of how expensive it is. Even with cheaper Voidrays, it's expensive. But you have to put pressure on as well. It's this weird thing that works so well for MaxPax. That the initial MaxPax, it was the same thing, right? It was taking an earlier expansion while proxy gating and getting away with it, like winning games with it. It blew everybody's mind, and I still feel like MaxPax has that ability. But he's also completely ironed out his play to the point where he is actually just a very good, he's a very solid player. His micro isn't the best micro in the world. His macro isn't the best macro in the world. But he has gotten steadily better and better at both of those things, while still having some very difficult to handle strategies. Don't feel like they should work, and that's precisely why they do. I don't know. MaxPax is possibly my favorite player in StarCraft. I love watching him play, and I always find myself rooting for him. Anyways, enough gushing about MaxPax. Let's watch this game. See what's going on here. Fleet Beacon, second Stargate. +1 finishing up. Got some Lings sneaking around, but they have been spotted. Solar going for Evo Chamber. Another Spire build over here in his third. From a Roach Queen. So just Roach Queen into a Spire. Nothing too crazy. He's taking this fourth base. MaxPax being mildly annoying with this Oracle. And then it dies. All right, sick. There's a bit of a misclick there, I think. Something tells me he did not want to click his Oracle into those queens. Let's have it sit there. Yeah, MaxPax is 17. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of insane how young some of these players are and how damn good they are. I hope we get to see MaxPax. I really want to know what MaxPax looks like. I feel like that's weird to say, but it's so weird to me to not know what a player looks like. There like isn't another player I can think of that I didn't know what they looked like, you know, as I learned about them, essentially. There's always like the Wikipedia has their picture. And maybe I didn't know what they looked like for the first few months of knowing they existed, but like, learned pretty quickly. But MaxPax, none of us know what he looks like, and he's like beating some of the best players in the world in straight up games, or GP games, cheesy games, but enough of a combination where it's respectable and consistently enough that it's just so crazy not to have seen his face. But that, I mean, it's also crazy just how young he is. Few drones going down. I mean, it's just been a little back and forth here. Solar up to 84 workers, though, and he is just pumping out units. He's going to try to bust through this. Let's take a look at the units. 6 Voidrays, man. We got disruptors, but there are 22 corruptors in the sky. Solar's calling his bluff. He says, I don't think you have enough anti-corruptor. And you know what? I think he is right. I don't even think the Queens, Roaches, and Lings need to be here. I think the corruptors win this fight. I think they can dive in, snipe a carrier, force the prismatic alignment, and back up. And he's going to push forward with the rest of his units too. He's got to be careful of the Disruptor Novas. 2 of them going to go out, going to try to take the Queens down, and actually 3 Queens going down, and 1 of them getting very low there. That is a very good start. This one's going to die to a cannon. That sucks for Solar. But it still feels like Solar might have too much here. Prismatic alignment. Oh, he's going to use the overcharge first. But that is going to mean those carriers definitely die. He's trying... Oh, he's used prismatic alignment already. Sorry, that was it. It was like a hiccup burp, not a surprise hiccup. But that is not good for MaxPax. Because I don't know if without prismatic alignment, I don't think he can win this fight. Jesus, another hiccup. Uh-oh. How about on the hiccups casting? Okay, there's prismatic alignment. Solar needs to back up. Needs to wait. Nova, and kills a Ravager, but I don't feel like the Disruptors are really going to be too impactful in this. Killing the Queens is really nice, but again, it comes down to the Voidrays versus the Corruptors. While the Queens can't help with that a bit, Corruptors are a little bit on their own here. I like that he targets down the prismatically aligned Voidray. He did just bile his own Corruptors. MaxPax's going to continue to hold. 15 Corruptors to 11 Voidrays right now, and some of these Voidrays have prismatic alignment. Maybe most of them, actually. Maybe even all of them. He's permanently cloaked. It would be super funny if he showed up in a mask, like a full-on costume. You can't tell who he is, what he looks like. We don't even know his name. That's true. That's crazy in this day and age. But I gotta say, I love that his parents are like, I don't know, involved enough to, you know, want to protect him. Whether or not you agree with the decision or whatever, I really appreciate that they care enough for him to do that. Like, I don't know, man. There's something very wholesome about that. I think Solar's got too much, guys. I think the 85 drones is going to be able to allow him to outproduce MaxPax, even if he doesn't take the best trades, and if he files his own Overseer. I still feel like he's just going to have too much. He's taking down this 4th base. He's taking decent trades with the Voidrays, and that's all he really needs. And that, I think, is going to be it. Solar with the big push through the center here with the heavy, heavy Corruptor count. If MaxPax hadn't made those carriers and had just committed to Voids, I think he holds. But the 3 carriers ended up being a lot of money spent, and a lot of supply and time spent on units that died extremely quickly without doing much damage. MaxPax holds on, but when you're down 2 bases and 20 workers, I feel like Solar could just keep on making units. Like, there's just... Look at the supply. Look at the supply. That's all you gotta do. You just gotta look at the... Todd may not be here casting with us, but in spirit, he's here. The Frenchman is here to tell us to look at the... In the supply, he does not lie. Not even though there's Roaches and Corruptors, which are not the most supply efficient. GG. Solar gonna tie the series up 1-1. I mean, there's a lot of pro players' names that I don't know. Not even just Koreans. There's a lot of pro players' names I don't know. But it's weird to not like even be able to know. You know what I mean? Again, I could look up anybody's name. I could look them up. It's a very unique thing in esports in 2022. 2022. Guys, we fucking made it to 2022. Pat yourself on the back. You are here. Whether it's good or bad, you're here, man. GG. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, we have our Psystorm Gaming. Protoss player in the red. MaxPax. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner. The Kitesy Gaming Zerg in the blue. Solar. That a good idea. MaxPax, of course, being annoying with the probe, as you do. So we're going to take that frontal base again. We might see another push through the rocks here, although this one's a little bit tougher. This choke that's a deadly choke to try to push through. All right, I have 3 more stickers I can put on this water bottle right now. And I'm going to need to buy some more stickers. If you want any Chickenman related merch, head on over to my merch page, the Yeehaw Emporium. Or you can buy things like stickers. It is exactly what I'll be buying right now. I got a few stickers. I'm hoping to add more things to the merch page at some point in the relatively near future, but yeah, not currently updating it. I don't have any specific plans. I'm hoping they allow front and back t-shirts soon is the big thing. But if you guys have any merch ideas, anything you'd like, you'd be interested in getting that represents the channel maybe a little bit, or, you know, something you're just kind of interested in, let me know. Always down to add more merch. The number of SC2 players, pro players I know by face is kind of ridiculous. It is kind of insane, Matt in the crowd, how many pro players I could name by face. I feel like it's a lot. Easily 100, possibly like 150. Well, I guess compared to Pokemon, maybe it's not that crazy, but it's a lot. Although I am bad with faces, so probably if I like took a quiz, I would fail it miserably. But just kind of, if it was just random, like through time, it's definitely like 100. What's up, Ms. Zell? Good to see you, bud. Hope you had a good holiday time. One skill I won't miss is having to memorize phone numbers. All right, everybody. Does everybody remember their phone number from when they were a child? Their home phone number. And do you remember the home phone number of your best friend? I know I do. Man, I was doing something the other day, and the numbers I had to type, it was 5818, and I was like, what is that? Something in my brain was like, I know that. I know that set of 4 numbers. And I had to dig real deep, and it was my home phone number. It was the final 4 digits of my home phone number when I was a kid. And I was like, oh my God, that's still in there. That's still in there. It's insane. I do have a few phone numbers memorized. But again, it's like only ones that I had to memorize before our current day of cell phone stuff. I mean, it is cell phones. Like, I have my dad's cell phone memorized and my mom's cell phone memorized. That's it. And the old home phone numbers. Well, it reminds me I need to get some Apoptosis merch, too. Cheeky Link's poking around, seeing what's going on. I mean, again, shockingly, we got double Stargate Voidray out of MaxPax. I'm talking about some other stuff in the meantime, but that's because this is looking exactly like the last 2 games in a lot of ways. I'm officially on the big screen in the living room. Oh my God. Wow. Not casting the garage today. I'm moving up in the world. Earns turns. Thank you. Thank you for that. We're moving on up. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the big times of Earns Turns living room big screen TV. That is actually a feels good match. Best friend? I still don't have friends. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. All my friends are online. All my friends are in Twitch chat now. Imagine having friends in person anymore. MaxPax grabbing the 4th. Solar. Not seeming to commit to anything at the moment, but he's up to 85 workers, so if he's going to start building units, now is the time. Solar gonna go ahead and grab a 5th. It's kind of the half 5th, but it is there. MaxPax scouts it. All right, the Corruptors are starting to come out. Solar, yeah, again, if he's gonna push, it's gonna be soon. Oh, the Evo Chamber going down, actually. That's a nice catch for MaxPax. Very annoying. Looks like he killed some creep tumors as well. Just bothering Solar as much as he can. And the Adepts on the other side, not really gonna get much done, but again, being annoying, always nice. Rip that Oracle. Oh, the Corruptor's going to catch the Voidray. As they go for the recall, they do all get out of there. Take a lot of damage, but they do exist. Stay alive. MaxPax gets a few carriers out, but this is feeling similar to last game where the Corruptors dominate carriers, guys. They are good against carriers. They counter carriers. But Voidrays counter Corruptors, so that's the tough balance here. Having enough Voidrays. The carriers, though, give you kind of generally they're just better units. It's just that against Corruptors, they have a tougher time if the Corruptors are microed well. So we're going to start diving in here. He is pushing across, starting to break down these rocks and bringing the Queens as well. Prismatic Alignment turns on. Corruptor's going to have to leave. Flapjack, thank you so much for the raid, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a lovely stream. We're clearly on a 2-minute delay. By the time you'll hear this, you'll have noticed. But thank you so much for the raid. Solar's diving in here. This, again, is feeling a lot like last game. We've got the Disruptors coming out. That was a great shot on some of those Roaches and Ravagers. Things do get cleaned up. A few Stalkers poking and prodding over here. Oof, big explosion there. Lots of those bad boys going down. Solar still getting good damage done, though, on these Void Rays, but is it enough? Yeah, there's 25 Corruptors. I think Solar's going to win this fight on the resupply. I don't like the Lings here, but if his Corruptors can win the air battle, then MaxPax's going to be in trouble. He is warping in a lot of Stalkers here to try to help against those Corruptors. So they will get pushed back. Solar doesn't really have a ground army, so if there ends up being just a bunch of Stalkers on the ground, Solar's going to be a little SOL. I like that he's building the infestation pit now, but this is so late. I was just going to say a Greater Spire would be sick here so that if he clears out the army, he could pull back and make a bunch of broods. But he's like a million years from getting Broodlords out. Slubberbub, thank you so much for the resubscription. My traveling friend. Welcome back to the Cockfuck. 14 months. I hope you had/are having good travels out on the road, doing what you're doing. I hope the world has treated you well and that you've experienced exciting things and learned new things about yourself. Gotta be honest, I am jealous. You know what? MaxPax is holding. Like, I'll be real with you guys. MaxPax has help. I was ready for this to look like last game, but MaxPax, he did not let that happen. The Stalker Warpins, when the ground units were gone, were clutch. Shield batteries and cannons have been clutch. I think the carriers have all died, but in this game, it doesn't really matter. And the reason it doesn't really matter is because there's enough ground army here for MaxPax to win the ground fight. And with Stalkers, that means the Corruptors, I mean, they can't shoot the Stalkers, so that's why you'd want the Broods. Solar's still trying to get some damage done here without really taking much damage. But he does have to be careful. Not to eat big Rupture shots or anything like that. Yep. Not to eat big Rupture shots or anything like that. That was a big one. I mean, Solar, he's not like in a bad position. He's got a lot of stuff going for him, but again, the Hive is so late here. Finally getting into that Greater Spire, but it feels very far away. And you know, if he had 6 Broods here right now, I'd be like, I think Solar's okay. That's a big if, and that is an if that does not exist. And now we've got Lings on the ground, but there's Archons here. And the Archons, they might seal the deal. One Viper coming out, that is the only spellcaster that Solar is anywhere near. He's putting on an Ultra Den. I don't think so, man. I don't know, Kev. It's looking a little hashtag dicey if you ask me. As MaxPax pushes forward with a very strong army. There's just nothing to deal with the Archons and Stalkers. There is nothing. The Corruptors can't win the fight with those units underneath. They just can't do it. And they won't have time to really morph into Broods. He's going to pull back. He's going to sack the base and try to go for it. But if MaxPax straight up just walks this way, if he just pulls an Aerosmith / Run DMC and walks this way, he will clear all of these bases. That's a Parasitic Bomb, but good split from MaxPax. Solar's just going to tap out. He's not even going to morph those Broods. GG, MaxPax takes the 2-1 victory, and we'll move on to the semifinals, where he awaits the winner of... He awaits the winner of Clem versus either Haas or Nice, because Clem is waiting for Haas and Nice.